This was supposed to be under control, quiet, predictable, already decided behind the scenes. But then Mike McCarthy spoke, and suddenly everything feels uncertain again. Because when he talked about Aaron Rodgers, he didn't sound like a coach waiting on paperwork. He sounded like a coach preparing for an ending. He's in a really good spot in his life, but he's 42. That's not reassurance. That's a warning. And now for the Pittsburgh Steelers, the pressure just spiked. The expectation all offseason was simple. Rodgers returns. Maybe late, maybe quietly, but returns. Just like last year. But this time feels different because the confidence isn't there anymore. Even Art Rooney II is setting a deadline before the draft. That's not casual, that's urgency. That's a franchise trying to force clarity before it's too late to react. That's the turning point, because once the draft passes, options disappear. If Rodgers walks away after that, the Steelers aren't adjusting, they're scrambling, and McCarthy knows it. That's why his message matters more than it sounds. I think you have to have a system. You've got to be able to adjust. That's not about depth. That's about contingency. Because behind the scenes, Pittsburgh is preparing for something they don't want to say out loud. Rodgers might not come back. And if he doesn't, look at the room. Uncertainty everywhere. No proven starter. No stable plan. Just names that don't move the needle in a division that demands it. That's where the risk explodes. Because the Steelers didn't aggressively solve quarterback this offseason. They waited. They trusted the relationship, trusted the history between McCarthy and Rodgers. And now that trust is being tested. There are fallback options. Kirk Cousins is out there. Other veterans exist, but none of them come without questions, cost, or adjustment. And none of them were plan A. That's the problem, because when your entire offseason hinges on one decision, you lose control of your timeline. And right now, Rodgers controls everything. The pace, the outcome, the future of the position. That's a dangerous place for a franchise to be, especially one trying to reset its identity under a new head coach. But here's the twist. McCarthy isn't panicking. Weekly conversations, ongoing dialogue, calm tone. Either he knows more than he's saying, or he's preparing himself for both outcomes. And that's the emotional spike. Because if Rodgers returns, all of this tension disappears overnight. The Steelers have their answer, their leader, their direction. If he doesn't, everything changes. Draft strategy, locker room expectations, even how the season is defined before it starts. So this isn't just a waiting game. It's a countdown to a decision that doesn't just affect one player, but an entire franchise trying to figure out who it is next. And until Rodgers speaks, every word from Pittsburgh will sound just like this. Controlled, careful, and just uncertain enough to tell you the truth.